Saturday afternoon, and just packing up the car unpacking the car and packing up the van to head in and shoot a gig in town. So I'm not entirely sure what to expect out of this one, but it should be a fun gig nonetheless. Well, it will be a fun gig. And it'll be inside and out of this rain, which is the main thing. Right, I've got about an hour to get there, so I'm going to be late. That's no surprise. Thankfully the set that I'm actually filming doesn't start till 8 o'clock, but we need to be in a couple of hours earlier than that, or otherwise we won't get spaces for the cameras. Right, better move. Oh yeah, and just because it's raining doesn't mean it's cold. It's still about 20 something, it's 27 degrees and pissing down, so it's really muggy.
Brian Little.
Band's coming on now. I'm guessing the light on me sucks, so you won't be able to see me very well, and the noise is starting to build up, but nice blue sky up that way, but then if we look down that way it looks like shit. So bit of everything.
Classic Wellington.
I expect that more from Auckland weather.
You know, climate change and all that shit.
Yeah, but the climate's not supposed to change every 2 hours.
Oh, that's what climate change does.
It was a normal Sunday morning, I was laying in bed, about to die in the middle of a dream, but instead I was awoken by a ringing in my head, and I said to myself, I feel like shit, but at least I'm not dead. And the clock read 10:49 exactly. Put the phone on my dome just to see who would harass me. At such an early hour it was bad saying, check this, I'm in town at Kayla's and we wanna get some breakfast. I said cool and grabbed my necklace as I hung up the phone. I put it on because without it I felt cold and alone. It bore a cross I received from my grandpa as a youth. To me that stood for hope, courage, happiness and truth.
So I've got a story of the somewhat ridiculous from this afternoon. I tried logging on to the Inland Revenue website, and this is the first time I've tried logging on there, so I went to the registration page and I put in all the registration information correctly, of course, and it wouldn't register me because it said I had my date of birth wrong, which kind of surprised me because my date of birth is something that was kind of set in stone approximately around the time I was born. So I gave them a quick call, and they told me that my date of birth had changed at some point. I assured them that this wasn't the case, and so they said, well look, we'll see what we can do about it, and proceeded to ask me some of the usual verification questions, one of which was, how old will you be on your next birthday? So I gave them the answer, 47, and she told me that that wasn't correct. So I had to point out that that was probably largely due to the fact that for some reason they've changed my date of birth, and I couldn't tell them what it was, what my date on my next birthday would be based on the date that they have, because I had no idea what date of birth they had changed me to. Yeah. So, quick note to IRD, date of birth isn't something that's usually a variable figure. And also, if my date of birth has been changed for some reason, who changed it, why, and when? Because I find that rather intriguing that somebody else has been able to go and change my date of birth. Bit of a worry, wouldn't you say? Apparently now I've got to go into their offices and fill out a large amount of paperwork and produce, and this is the great bit, I've got to produce a birth certificate or passport issued by the government and give that back to the government to prove that I was born on the date that should have been there in the first place. So I've got to go to a government office in a building to get a birth certificate, to take it up 2 flights of stairs to another office to prove to them some information that they already have, but have wrong in one place. And they'll probably want to charge me a pretty penny for the privilege. So how's your day been?